And watch my feet. You ready for this? That's what we're dealing with out here, and it's not getting any better, it's getting worse. So get off the roads.
A treacherous day for travel as freezing drizzle and rain has laid a sheet of ice down on roads, causing numerous crashes and slide-offs around the state. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jasmine Aduse. That winter storm is just getting started. When all said and done, it will dump several inches of snow across Kansas. Some places may pick up more than a foot. Governor Laura Kelly has declared a state of emergency. State agencies are staffing the Emergency Operations Center and will be available to help counties in need. Tonight, we have team coverage. Peyton Steiner is in north central Kansas, where KDOT has closed I-70 because of numerous wrecks. But we begin with Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman in the Storm Track 3 Weather Center. Lisa runs us through what's falling right now and when will it switch over to snow.
We are going to see more of that switch over to snow, especially after midnight tonight. 3 a.m. that's the start time until midnight on Monday. All of the counties that are highlighted from the Kansas City metro back toward Wichita, including Great Bend and Russell, just to the east of Hays, a blizzard warning. That means winds are going to be picking up. We could have winds later tonight and into Sunday that will be bigger than 45 miles per hour. Winds gusting above 50. Also on the table as we see the change away from freezing rain and sleet to all snow. We also have winter storm warnings in effect, winter weather advisories as well. In the winter storm warning area highlighted in pink, this will be the highest accumulations of ice and also snowfall amounts. Icing potential, the height is going to be right along Highway 50 from Hutchinson to Newton over toward Emporia. About 3/10 of an inch with locally higher amounts will be possible. We've already seen some accumulations in Marion County that have been quite high, and we're going to add to more of that tonight. We also have a larger area of 1/4 of an inch to 3/10 of an inch. The rest of the state anywhere from about maybe a few hundredths of an inch up to about maybe 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. Snowfall potential once the colder air starts to crash in, anywhere from Hays to Salina and Great Bend, 8 to 12 inches of snow with locally higher amounts. Drops to Emporia, Hutchinson, Pratt at 4 to 8 inches of snow. Wichita at about 2 to 4, but up toward the northwestern parts of Sedgwick County, we may see a little bit more snow, less over toward Dodge City in the 2 to 4 inch range, also including Garden City, with less near the Colorado state line. So how are things looking right now with this storm? This is the start of the snow. You can see more of the freezing drizzle. This will become heavier later tonight. If we hear some thunder, see some lightning, that could actually add to our ice and our snowfall totals. I want to bring in meteorologist Lucy Dahl because she's taken a look at how much ice we've seen so far and what some of those impacts are expected to be on the roadways and also for you at home. Lucy.
Lisa, some of the heaviest snow or ice totals that we've seen so far have been near 1/4 of an inch. That goes for areas in Sedgwick on the other side of Harvey County, as well as Marion. Hill City also picking up nearly about 19 hundredths of an inch there with that ice as freezing drizzle has come down for the better part of the day. Now, when we talk ice accumulations, when we get that light glaze, that's when we start to have issues like icy bridges, but travel really becomes difficult. When we get closer towards 2/10 of an inch coming down of ice, that's where we get hazardous roadways. And then as we get closer towards that 1/2 an inch of ice, that's when we start to see power outages and almost impossible travel. But even without that much ice, travel tomorrow is going to be near impossible because of the blizzard-like conditions across the Sunflower State. We had blizzard warnings in place from Wichita all the way up to Salina, including areas off towards the east near Emporia. Now, blizzard warnings are put into effect when we expect to see winds gusting over 35 miles per hour. Also, considerable snowfall coming down or blowing snow. And visibility will be reduced to less than 1/4 of a mile for 3 hours or more. So if you do not have to be on roadways tomorrow, please stay off of them. Also, if you get snowfall in your area, we'd love to see your pictures. Please send them in to us at Connect 3, and you can also submit them on KSN.com. Jasmine.
Lucy, thank you. The road conditions around the state are bad, and they're just going to get worse as the night goes on. This is a look at them as reported by KDOT. The highways up north are completely covered in ice, as shown by the colors purples, and the ones in blue are partially covered. And state troopers have worked numerous wrecks and slide-offs in north central Kansas. One involved a fire truck that rolled. KSN's Peyton Steiner is in Salina as law enforcement stresses the need to stay home and not be on the road.
Jasmine, I left Wichita around 9 this morning, and what's usually about a 1.5 hour drive took me 3 hours. The last 45 miles into Salina took me about an hour and a half just by itself. On I-135 going north to Salina, I saw at least 3 rollover crashes. State troopers have been tied up throughout the morning and afternoon responding to crashes and slide-offs on I-135 and I-70. Conditions have only worsened, and the closure of I-70 has severely impacted travelers. I spoke to a few who have hunkered down at a 24/7 rest stop.
Well, we're coming from Tulsa, and traveling has been a little slow. It's slick.
My son goes to visit his dad in Oklahoma, and then right outside of Salina, it got slick, and it scared the bejesus out of me, and there was a rollover accident and another vehicle in the ditch, so I'm just ready to get back home.
Their advice was the same as the Kansas Highway Patrol. If you have to drive today, don't. Conditions are only expected to get worse through tonight and into tomorrow. Here for you in Salina, Peyton Steiner, KSN News 3.
Now, the sheer amount of wrecks has made several cities implement their emergency accident reporting plans. Officers in Wichita, Salina, and Hutchinson won't respond to accidents if alcohol or drugs aren't involved. The vehicles are drivable and both drivers stay on the scene. If you're involved in one of these accidents, exchange information with the other driver. In Wichita, you can fill out an accident report online or Quick Trip or Quick Shop. In Hutch, just report the wreck to your insurance company. Officers say this plan helps keep everyone safe.
Obviously, it's dangerous for the drivers themselves, and it's dangerous for our officers who are out there, along the side of the roadway, because when you lose control of your vehicle on an icy surface, it's kind of hard to predict where it's going to go and where it's going to end up at. So that was the catalyst of the...
It's unknown how long the emergency accident reporting plans will be in effect, but they'll be in place at least through the storm. Crews in Wichita worked throughout the night treating the roads. They put down brine and a salt sand mix. You can track the trucks as they do their work online. This color-coded map shows exactly where they've been over the last 24 hours. Officials say if you absolutely must be out tonight, take it slow and don't crowd the plows.
Really drive safely, give extra car lengths between you and other vehicles, and then give any emergency response vehicles or street treatment vehicles just a lot of room. Those guys are working 12-hour shifts around the clock, so we're really...
The city of Wichita has more than 70 plows on hand. They will focus on emergency routes and major arterials first. KDOT is responsible for Kellogg, K96, I-135, and 235. This winter storm is also affecting air travel. A dozen flights into and out of Eisenhower National Airport were canceled today. Staff tell KSN News if your flight was one of them, don't go to the airport. Contact your airline to reschedule. And the Chiefs are on their way to Denver after being stranded on the runway at KCI as the team was leaving for their game against the Broncos. A treatment truck at the airport broke down. The runways were closed for a while, but are back open. Normal operations resumed about an hour ago. And this winter storm has canceled many events and church services, rather. You can see them scrolling at the bottom of your screen or on KSN.com. If you don't see yours, you can go to our website, click the story on the homepage, and hit submit your church or business closing online. And the ice, snow, and extremely cold temperatures has forced the Sedgwick County Zoo to close tomorrow and Monday. They will make a decision on Tuesday status by noon on Monday. And so far, very few power outages have been reported, but that could change as the night goes on. Several cities have warming shelters set up. The emergency winter shelter is open around the clock in Wichita. Dodge City also has an overnight shelter. In Finney County, the Juvenile Detention Center and the Salvation Army will be open 24 hours if staff is available. You can find more information on KSN.com.